So, yeah, that's true. There's a lot of explaining they have to do, and just like 40 Cal just mentioned, Ghost took a bullet this episode. He got shot. I always said, my prediction is that Ghost would die. I always thought that he should die. The question is how he dies, and I'm not sure how I feel about this. What happened to him, only because obviously they did like the same thing like how they closed out season 5 with Angela getting shot, and then they had us in the air for like a whole year before they actually showed us what actually happened to Angela or whatever like that. So with this, I have a couple mixed feelings on how that went down, but I mean basically because I'm not gonna drag this too much on, but we have a couple things that happened. That shootout happened. Come to find out, one of the guys got killed. We're assuming Tommy shot the guy, and
or who knows, or Ghost maybe did, or
whoever. And
who knows? Yeah,
Tommy was nowhere to be found after that scene, and he was gone. And then we didn't see Tommy for a while. Ghost continues to go by his day. I'm not going all the way in order. I'm just gonna go into put different bits and pieces, because I know there's a part where Tate tries to talk to him about, I guess, I'm not sure if he tried to warn him about the feds coming and asking him questions about him.
That's a good point you mentioned. He was trying to warn him, but then he mentioned something about Tariq, right?
He said, listen,
about
Tariq.
your son.
And then Ghost would not let him speak because he was so stuck in arrogant mode that he just kept pretty much insulting Tate and making him feel like
it seemed like Tate for a second is a good point. It seemed like Tate for a second was gonna give him like a alley hoop or help him out a bit.
Or basically like listen,
because he mentioned, hey, there's something about your son that you need to know, or I'm guessing he's gonna tell him about maybe Raymond, or I don't know what the case was. We never. Again, this is another thing why I'm kind of not a huge fan of this episode. It's just a lot of things that they don't quite explain well. There's a lot of things where you're like, huh, what? Like, what is this? What is he trying to say? And so there's a lot of things they still need to explain with Tate. And obviously Ghost was his uncharacteristic arrogant self, and he just like, you know what, you're a loser. And again, it's a funny scene. It's funny watching that, because to me it's always funny seeing Ghost son people, but again, it's still not the Ghost that I really kind of expected. But
Ghost checked him a couple of times and disrespected
Tate.
And Tate wound up not saying anything because Ghost walked away and told him, "Hey, get out of here, whatever you do." That happened. Ghost. He's in his office, and in truth, Tariq comes in. Ghost thinks he's finally getting a chance to talk to his son, and then he brings in Dre. Dre comes in. Dre speaks to him like he needs help, whatever like that, and Ghost again tells him the same thing. I'm running the show. You can't stop me, and I don't need you. You need me, and you want to get out of town. Well, it's gonna be on my terms. I'm only gonna give you this amount of money, and if you don't like it, well, tough. That's all you're gonna get. So get the fuck out of my face, and that's it.
And then later,
and
we see Ghost send him up, which is
right.
I think we're all rooting for Dre to kind of.
Yeah, he has to bite the bullet.
Yeah, he has to bite the bullet.
But he seems to be a weasel in this whole series that always seems to get away. He always seems to get away.
It's almost like a cartoon character, almost. He
always manages to get himself out of everything.
Out of everything.
He
snitches his way out. He finagles. He kills,
just
the
same way Ghost figures his way out on certain things. So does Dre. He's like a weasel, He's
like a weasel, yeah.
I know at some point Tasha texts Ghost. You know, I guess he's supposed to. I didn't really notice. At this part, and I don't know if it's because I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't notice that he was moving out of the penthouse.
Yeah, it was they just kind of put that out there.
You know, I didn't know that.
They just showed the because remember Tommy shot the whole place, so I guess they remodeled it or whatever they did. For me, that's not too much of a big deal because we already knew he wasn't at the penthouse.
No, it wasn't a big deal, but
but it's something that again, they could have probably explained last episode, or I guess I don't know. I'm not really.
Yeah, but even within that scene, he talks to Tasha. They have this, he tells her, that he's doing new things and he's gonna do his political endeavors and is going to be lieutenant governor, and that nobody can stop him because she's basically like saying like, why would you put your whole self at risk knowing all the stuff
that's his history,
his history and everything that's going on with you, and he's like he's going all the way. No one can stop him, not the cops, not the feds, not anyone, and this is when he they talk about Tariq and his safety and, all the stuff going on with him and how he doesn't approve of him selling drugs and becoming a criminal and, going into protect them from Ray Ray. And then this is when he suggests that, all the stuff going on with him, that we've been doing, trying to protect this kid, maybe he should turn himself in for this Ray Ray situation. We've been killing ourselves trying to protect this kid, and meanwhile, it's been digging a bigger and deeper hole for us and for him. So, but this is back again with the arrogance of him thinking about his political endeavors. So therefore, Tariq being a dirty point of his corner, he didn't need that. So now he wants to sweep it up like, okay, hey, what's into the crime? I made him turn him in. I made him turn himself in, and we're gonna fix this. And this is where it presents a problem.
With that, I didn't like even that suggestion. And again, like if Ghost wanted to do that, have Tariq turn himself in, it should have been more planned early on. But for him just to say that in the spur of the moment was like, bro, what the? And again, it just delves into his arrogance and the way his character is now. It's just not. It's like
it's almost like
in a sense. I know some of you guys don't give a fuck about Tariq, and to me, I don't either. I don't really care. But it's just more. My issues is more with Ghost. It's with Ghost himself. If they want to kill Tariq, I don't care if Tariq gets hit by a car or if they kill off his character tomorrow or whatever. It's just more Ghost making that suggestion when Ghost this whole time, this whole entire series, Ghost does do things for himself, but he also do a lot of things for other people, even if they don't even know it's for their own benefit, So when he made that suggestion, I was like, what, man? Like, really? You gonna have your own son turn himself in? And even I'm just like, why, man? It kind of reminded me when he called the cops on Tasha. It was like, all right, but why are you even doing that? With Tasha, it was more vengeful. It was more different. With this, it was just more like, why, Ghost? Why? It's just, I know you think a little differently about this, but I'm just like, I don't think it was really all that. I don't think it was.
I don't think differently, but I just think that I get his point of saying that. Listen, maybe if we turn this kid in, maybe it would be better for him instead of us digging a bigger hole for ourselves and continuing to incriminate ourselves, constantly trying to cover up more stuff that's getting dug up. Yeah. Now, my only issue with this is
it could be a smart idea. Yeah.
My only issue with this is that one, you're just not thinking of this. You should have been thought of this when this first came about, and even work with Angela about it and see how the possibilities of working with Tariq. That's number one.
Because Angela knew,
You know what I'm saying? That's one. And that could have also probably not implicate her, too. And that would have avoided a lot of bigger problems. Yeah. And you're finally seeing this. But again, this is Ghost, the same thing. When he, like last season, when he was talking to Angela and talking about he wants to be honest and tell her the truth about why he broke up with her and what really happened and all that stuff like that. You're thinking about things after the fact, but because it benefits you. You want to change your life, so it benefits you, so now you're saying it. It's not that it's for Tariq. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's, even though it's a part of him is thinking that way, but you're only thinking that way now because of what your position is in life right now. So that's the bad part about it, because it doesn't come off as genuine, and at the same time, it wasn't thought about enough to be able to be something that it's actually
realistic or feasible.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of makes it bad. It's like, you know, you just threw this out there and then you expect everybody to just go with it, and it's not gonna happen.
Hey, remember, this is Ghost. This is a guy. This is Batman. So I'm always of the impression he's a lot smarter than this. So I think you mentioned a good point. It is based off his own arrogance and his own emotion, and at the place he is now. Because I'm thinking, if this was Ghost, maybe even a season ago, let's say even 5 episodes ago, I think that would have never been a suggestion he would have went for. Or if it did, he would have had, have Tariq turn himself in. We'll have this guy come up or whatever. I'll set this guy up to say he was Raymond Jones' girlfriend or this. You know, it would have been a little bit more smarter. But like you said, with this Ghost, nah, not really. But yeah,
you know. So you know, this is the reason why this kind of thing didn't really, you know, sit well with, you know, Tasha. And even as he walked off, Tasha was already, as she left, she was already thinking, like, you done lost your mind, like, whatever, you're bugging out, kid. Then we have the thing with he was in a room. Now, mind you, in this episode, he saw the ghost of Raina and talked to Raina and spoke to Raina about things that, you know, he wished that he probably would have had conversations with her about before, which he never did. And that was a very touching scene. He saw Angela in his in the apartment. In his hotel room, and she's talking to him, and that was a very beautiful scene to me. Very touching. I felt a great emotion, and it also kind of helped me understand where this episode was going. The way she was talking to him, and the way she was supportive of him having to move on with Ramona and things of that nature. And I was like, wow, you know, you're the love of his life, and for you to talk like that and put it in a perspective where, you know, it's okay, made me feel like you're pushing him to something that just a couple of episodes back you would let him seem like if he was only destined to do destruction, which led to her death. So that was something that was interesting to see. But again, as we go along, we see more Ghost doing his antics, talking to different things, setting people up. We see Simon Stern again. Simon Stern helps him get this, buys that location where, you know, his father's friend or whatever owns that place where he wants to put the Queen Shot Project at. We just pretty much see Ghost pretty much trying to do everything to make this situation of him being lieutenant governor work for him. You know, so he has Simon Stern endorsing him. He has he's pretty much working with the candidate, the female candidate that he's running with, and they're pretty much announcing that he's the new lieutenant governor on the news, and everybody's seeing it. Tate is seeing it and everything like that. Now, this is despite the fact that I forgot to mention that the feds did talk to Tate and question him, and pretty much, you know, almost kind of made him say that he knows information about James St. Patrick doing illegal drug activities and things of that nature. So that was also one thing. little by little in this episode, we start seeing them trying to piece things together. The feds do a search at St. Patrick's hotel. A quiet search. It wasn't even like a sneak and peek search. It was like a sneak and peek search.
So you're supposed to go there. Like, let's say you're not home, you're at a party. They're supposed to go to your house when you're not home. Just look at everything. Just check. Leave, and they're supposed to leave everything exactly intact. It's called a sneak and peek search warrant. But that didn't go as planned because they end up taking the cell phone. What's his name? Cell phone. Silva's cell phone for evidence, which we all know from last episode. Sax had Dre put that cell phone in Ghost's apartment.
Right.
Yeah. I'll say, this kind of with this episode, the whole investigations from the feds part, I just think is really interesting to see them actually go with the, I think earlier we mentioned the Sax bug where they start like, we can't play by the rules in order to get this guy because this guy is just so good at avoiding the authorities, at doing whatever he wants and not being able to get caught. And it just shows the limit of our justice system. It also shows how smart Ghost is as well. So that whole aspect, I think, is a lot of... It kind of makes you understand why Sax... What happened with Sax and why he did the things he did. Because I kind of wish they explained it better to make you realize that, you know what, Sax... We didn't realize this, but Sax was at a point where he's like, you know what, I can't play fair to get these guys. These guys play dirty. I also gotta play dirty to some sense, to some point, because I know he did it. I just can't get him by going through the law. I just can't. It's like someone shot at somebody. It's like, you remember, Sax got beat up and kidnapped, right? And so he knows these guys are crooks. It's just he can't do anything about it. And moving forward a little bit, the scene where the former lawyer, Tamika, I think her name is, and she represents Sax now. When she comes and talks to Sax and is like, hey, listen, unfortunately, we can't prosecute St. Patrick, but unfortunately for you, you're probably going to end up in jail. My suggestion, you plead, and while you're in jail, St. Patrick is free. I think that scene was really funny. It was funny scene.
That was a funny
scene. And I really thought Sax was gonna actually kill him when he took out the gun. I thought Sax was gonna. I don't know about you guys, but I thought Sax was gonna kill himself. I was like, because that's like to me that's like the ultimate ether. You can tell his soul was burning. You can tell his heart was like, how the fuck am I going to jail yet? These murderers, these criminals, these serial killers are going to walk the streets free. And St. Patrick is going to be the fucking lieutenant governor of New York. So that's why I'm like, part of me is laughing. But then when he took out the gun, I was like, damn, Sax, I was never a fan of you, but I don't want to see you blow your head off. You're still, you're annoying, but you're still a interesting character to begin with. So that's one scene I thought was really kind of funny. It was kind of intense too. But yeah, you have anything else or?
But yeah, I mean, like I said, the whole episode, we just building up to, Ghost little by little just insisting that he's getting what he wants. Like he's winning, but not knowing that. Even Blanca, and I guess I don't know if he's the head DA or whatever like that. They have this phone that they obtained from the search that belongs to Silva, and they try to present that to the judge that dealt with the case back in season 4 with the case of Ghost and the murder of Greg Knox, and pretty much. They try their best to, get a warrant for Ghost arrest because they agree that, even while I forget the guy's name that's the head of the AUSAs now, he knows that Sax planted that phone in Ghost hotel room, but they, Tamika pretty much convinced them that, if you go and arrest Sachs for that right now, it's going to be embarrassment over the office, in which that office within all these seasons has been getting embarrassed by all this constant inconsistencies with all these cases. So they try to go with this judge and present all this stuff. This judge already doesn't want to hear anything about St. Patrick, and because he's already disgusted with what happened in season 4 with that case, and everything they present to him, he's like, no, it's not credible. No, it's not. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not with it. And they present the phone, and I guess later on, it cuts to another scene. Later on, we find out that phone, he didn't go with that as well. He shut them down. So it seems like they got desperate. Meanwhile, Dre got locked up because Ghost set him up and everything like that. Now, I believe that Ghost called 2-Bits up on the phone saying, you still got my Rolex or whatever like that. Listen, I need you to do me a favor. I don't know what it is. Maybe you try to send a hit on Dre, but Dre, I guess, calls for Blanca. He's so paranoid that he wants to get out of prison like today, But then she talks to him and says, listen, the only way we can do this is if you can tell me one thing. And he says, what's that? And she said, did Ghost ever tell you that he killed Terry Silver? So he said no, but I was there with him. And from that right there is how she kind of played dirty and was going to go along with the story of him insisting that he was there when Ghost killed Terry Silver. So, again, Ghost talks to Tariq, manages to tries to convince him to turn himself in. And of course, they had a heated argument. And Tariq asked Ghost to tell him about the whole situation with Breeze. And then, Ghost tells him how he killed Breeze and why he did it and all that stuff like that. And saying that he gave him a chance, but Breeze still wanted to get in the way of what Ghost wanted to do, but he still continued till Ghost killed him. And I don't know, but I felt like that story stuck with Tariq and whatnot. But yeah, later on, Ghost seems to have like a celebration in his Club Truth. He looks like he's celebrating his announcement of him being the lieutenant governor, along with the lady that's running for governor, and he's having a great time there. He's celebrating. He's having a big bash. He sees Ramona over there. He pretty much wants to go public with letting her know that, and letting everyone know that this is the person he wants to be with, and he kisses her in public, and he sees Tariq there. Talks to Tariq. Tariq asks him, "Hey, Dad, you still want me to turn myself in?" And he's like, "Yeah, I still think it's a good idea. You turn yourself in." And Tariq walks away, and this is where we start to see different elements of all the people that Ghost might have upset throughout the episode. This is other than the fact that he spoke to Paz earlier. Paz came and asked him, "Please, I know you didn't kill my sister, but I know you know who did." He never told her, of course, and stuff like that. At that same time, Ramona was eavesdropping. So there's a lot of pieces of people that might have been involved in what led to Ghost getting shot, because we see everybody having motivations. Like 40 Cal said, Tamika told Sachs, "You're done." And so he gets drunk, comes outside with a gun. Doesn't know. He looks like he's going after Ghost. We got Tommy speeding up, look like he's going after Ghost. We got Tasha, we got Tate, we have Paz, we have Tariq, we have Dre. All, and at the same time we have Blanca getting ready to serve Ghost the warrant for his arrest. All leading up to the final part where, we all find that Ghost was shot and fell off the balcony in his club, in his chest. And the episode stops there. So I mean, this is what that's what happened pretty much. In the end of his episode, you guys. I have so many different feelings about what happened, but I'd have to see and comprehend more what they were doing. But you guys, let me know how you guys feel about what happened here. Are you shocked Ghost is dead? Are you upset? How do you feel? How do you feel about that episode entirely? Was it good? Was it bad? Let us know in the comments. This is pretty much what happened there. Now episode was good, with the exception of the little issues that we might have had, but we'll see when Power premieres. Power premieres back January 5th, and it will resume as normal. So that's pretty much it for the episode of No One Can Stop Me. You guys already know what to do as far as hitting that notification button, like and subscribe to WGTV, and we'll be back with more power content and more entertainment. So you have your boy Dub Z,
40 Cop,
and you're watching WGTV.